Welcome to Bride Price, a culture or the new slavery. In this first episode of a 5-part documentary that will be aired weekly, MIFUMI brings you exclusive footage of this very emotive issue that captures the views of extraordinary people who have experiences of bride price and of those who have championed its reform, going way back to the first National Commission on the Status of Women held in 1965, which produced the Kalema Report on Women's Rights.
There's that element of selling the bride to her husband. And this is what we fought a lot. We said bride price reduces the status of the women. She cannot be an article, she's not an article to be bought. And we particularly realized the consequence of her being bought, a husband paying for her, that usually started a very wrong attitude towards his wife. His chattel, he bought her anyway. He can do whatever he wants with her. And at the same time, if the marriage went sour, her parents would tell her, "You don't come back. We have used up all the money, all the cows, everything they paid us for you. We've been used up." So the wife had to bear an unhappy marriage, which in the first place had started on a wrong note of her being a bought article rather than a bride, someone, a friend of her husband.
How is bride price viewed in the Arab world?
And Islamic Sharia, bride price is a present. It could be as small as 1,000 Ugandan shilling. It could be as 1 million. It's up to you. It's a voluntary thing. It shouldn't actually hold the woman hostage at all.
Can couples choose not to go down the route of customary marriage? Does the term bride price correctly describe the custom, or does it distort it? Is there something to be said for changing the term bride price, or is it a case of calling a spade a spade?
It has so many names. The people, they call it dowry. In Islam, they call it mahar. But the most important is the implications of it. I think bride price it's an ugly name. Bride and young women and all women of all ages have no price. They are human beings. And this is how it has to be perceived. That women are not for sale. Women have no price. So the term is offensive in itself, of course. I think it's a gift. It's a wedding gift, and it depends on how people they want to do it. It should be 100% voluntary, based on mutual agreements.
But as long as it is not expensive, it is not beyond what is necessary.
You see, the contradicting aspect is that whatever type of marriage you are to contract in, bride price is always an issue. Customary marriage, what validates as customary marriage is payment of bride price. If you are going into a church wedding, bride price is there because a church wedding combines customary marriage with a church ceremony. If you are going into a Muhammadan marriage, mahar is a requirement, otherwise the marriage is null and void. Mahar is an equivalent of bride price for the Muslims. First of all, I have a problem with bride price as a name. Because before the Bazungu came here, or before colonial times, our culture is actually bridal gift. But when you put in the word bride price, price alone qualifies marriage as an ordinary contract, an ordinary buying, bargaining, and purchase of goods in the market. And the word price degrades women to commodity. women do not have a problem with bridal gift. Why am I emphasizing the word gift? If bridal gift was maintained like our previous cultures, a gift is given at will. There is no time of bargaining or putting up demands. So my view would be that we should go back to our roots. If a man wants to bring a gift to their parents, and it should be at will, let them go and buy a gift they feel is suitable for their parents. Unconditional gift. And that means that the other party must afford. But when you put it as a bride price, as a condition, where the girl's parents gather to bargain, and because like in the West, where I come from, at times things get nasty. People are quarreling, but some aggressive women insist on attending. The bride insists on attending the bargains. And some of them tell their parents off. Say, look, are you going to marry me? If you make my prospective suitor fail, are you going to marry me? Of course they cannot. Two, why do you ask them for what they cannot afford? Why do you make it a purchase? And that's where the problem starts from. I was last year in Khartoum. I was told that we men, the bridal mahara, has gone up to a level of $20,000. Men have to work for 4-5 years to raise mahara. So you have subjected this man to go through that. Because I think even bride price does not only affect women. The men are involved. Somebody has to work for 5 years just to raise mahara. What are you going to feed on? How are you going to meet the other ends of life? Shelter, food, childbearing, school fees. Are you looking at that as you demand for the $20,000 or so?
The initial idea, the bottom line, in the bride price is for the man to show that he is capable of taking care of his wife. And this does not necessarily be shown by spending a lot of money, on wedding ceremonies. This could be demonstrated through various means, and not by the bride price, So I think it's very important to educate communities that that women are not a commodity.
What is the essence of this so-called bride price? Go to Article 31. Everybody at the age of 18 has a right to found a family. And the parties to found a family must enter at the same level. But you are subjecting one party to a purchase. Are they entering at the same level? And if we retain bride price, is marriage reduced to an ordinary contract? Can it be repudiated like a contract for supply of vehicles? I mean, we should harmonize these issues. And the time is now.
If bride price is so linked to the status of women, what happens to those women for whom bride price is not paid?
In Buganda, people do marry without bride price. Now, those people who are not Baganda, who marry Baganda girls, when they take their wives home, like if a person from Teso marries a Muganda girl and he has not paid any bride price, the woman is regarded as a wife. So I don't know why it should be for people from the north and the east who says unless bride price is paid. And yet there are some boys marrying from Uganda and they don't pay bride price, and we accept them as wives. But I really feel that the bride price is a crucifix for the women.
I think it's not right. It's better for people to join together in marriage, whether there's bride price or not. That way it will make them equal.
It is one of the ways to show that really you love that girl you've married. But if you marry a girl and you don't go to introduce yourself to her parents, that is like, I don't know if I can call it mobile marriage. But if you really love your wife, you should pay bride price.
Yeah, me, I would advise the parents out there, if the man decides to get a wife of his choice, it's them to decide to see that at least they get a token of appreciation, which he thinks by himself that he can afford to give the parents to appreciate them for bringing up the girl, but not being forced. It can do better than being forced, because he's going to be forced and he will decide to sell the small land he has to pay for it, and then you find that tomorrow they don't have where to start from, and then whenever this lady asks for soap, salt, and then you find that the money refers her to what he gave to her parents, and then it will cause the domestic violence to them.
I want to remind the community and fellow parents that 3/4, even if you sample 10 homes where the girls have got married to the sons, you may find 70% of these girls married suffering. It is you who brought poverty here. All the cows which were here were taken to your home. So this girl is meant to work like a donkey, paying for the dowry. I want to tell the fellow parents that let us not sell our children. That's what I'm saying. Whether I'm called where, I'm ready to respond. World all over. Because this has promoted total slavery on girl child. Girl child has no say other than pounding cassava, grinding, and when he's seen in the kitchen most of the time is a pride of some communities, most of the communities, which we are saying no. This is a sign of low civilization and development. And remember, when you educate a girl child, you will have educated the nation.
Forced demand, I could call it the sale of young girls into marriage. Forced demand, we are looking at children being taken out of school, being married off to a man, many times a lot older than they are. They're moving into a home as a second, third, or fourth wife. And this is out of that forced demand for bride price. It is a demand that has been commercialized. We now don't talk about bridal gifts and tokens of appreciation. It is a price. And this price gets exorbitant the younger the child gets. So forced demand cannot be part of a practice of bringing two families together, where one family says we want 5 cows, 10 goats, a car, sacks of rice and sugar. That is forced demand. To protect women and children, we have loads of money pumped into the world to protect the dignity of and the human rights of women and children. Why are we still exchanging them? Why are we still exchanging them for cows, for property, for goods, for money, for rice? Bride price subjugates women. It equates them to property. We haggle over them. When two families meet and they're discussing bride price, they do haggle. One demands for 5 and the other negotiates for 4 cows. And another demands for 10 Frisian cows and the other negotiates for 5 ordinary cows. It does not value women. Bride price has commercialized marriage, but it has commodified women. When we are exchanged, you know, when I give you 5 cows in exchange for your daughter, is that a sale or is it a gift? And if it is a gift, why is it demanded when this girl leaves? It ceases to. It is not a gift, it is a demand, it is a sale. We are looking at a sale transaction.